Hi, I'm Brian, and I'm the Research Director for Paula's Choice Skincare, and I'm here to tell you about our clinical Ultra Rich Moisturizer. This little guy here. This is our facial moisturizer for dry to very dry skin. We are talking dry, not just your everyday dry skin. We are talking your uncomfortably dry, tight skin, the kind of dry skin where no moisturizer ever seems to be enough. Clinical Ultra Rich Moisturizer is designed to be that moisturizer in terms of really giving your skin a substantive, lasting moisturizer. In fact, it's clinically proven, and we've actually done this test because I know clinically proven sounds so like, yeah, everybody says that. We did the test, and it is really clinically proven to lock in moisture for 12 hours, so you will have velvety smooth skin. Now, this has a very rich texture. I'll just dispense a bit here and show you. Squeeze tube, it's not that hard to get out. You just see how it's just so creamy and it's silky smooth, but it doesn't feel greasy, which is a bit of a surprising feat because this contains a lot of substantive emollients like shea butter. There's a high amount of caprylic capric triglyceride. You've got your olive oil, your mango butter, jojoba butter, coconut oil, a whole range of ceramides and other antioxidant ingredients joining those emollients, those heavy-duty ingredients that don't necessarily feel heavy, certainly not if you have really dry skin. This also makes a brilliant eye cream. It is so rich, so if you find that the skin around your eyes is notably drier than anywhere else on your face and your regular facial moisturizer or even your regular eye cream just isn't cutting it, you could absolutely use Clinical Ultra Rich Moisturizer around your eyes. Now, the repairing ingredients and the soothing agents in Clinical Ultra Rich Moisturizer are also wonderful for sensitive skin, as well as those struggling with rosacea. So yes, if you have rosacea and dry skin, you can use this. What if you have breakouts? Well, you're gonna need to experiment. This is definitely a thicker, richer moisturizer that somebody with breakout-prone skin may be understandably nervous about. So if you are in the camp of having breakouts and dry skin, I would suggest using one of our lighter weight but still emollient moisturizers, and perhaps consider layering that with one of our serums to give you that extra moisture boost to get your skin to that ideal level of comfort. If you are using the Skin Recovery Replenishing Moisturizer, you may be wondering what's the difference between the Skin Recovery formula and Clinical Ultra Rich. The main difference is going to be texture. Skin Recovery has still has a cream texture, but it is not as thick as the Clinical Ultra Rich Moisturizer. It is not designed to leave as substantive of a barrier on skin. So again, think of the Clinical Ultra Rich Moisturizer as the product to use when you have chronically dry skin, almost bordering on eczema type facial skin, or what's commonly known as atopic skin, a condition such as atopic dermatitis. Clinical Ultra Rich Moisturizer is the moisturizer for you. If you're using Skin Recovery Moisturizer and you're happy with it, you don't necessarily need to stop and try this one, but you could certainly get a sample and compare and see what you think. The clinical formula may actually end up being the one that you like using in the colder, drier months compared to Skin Recovery, but you'll need to experiment to find out. Now, you may also be wondering what makes this clinical, and it's a combination of things. First of all, every product in the clinical range, we begin with tackling a problem or concern that goes beyond traditional skin type and traditional skin concerns. So the genesis of Clinical Ultra Rich Moisturizer was, how do we solve the problem of severely dry, tight facial skin, the kind that are, like I mentioned earlier, a regular moisturizer just can't seem to help enough. And so we researched some of the most amazing emollients and buttery type ingredients. worked on creating a really elegant texture. And then the other thing that reinforces the clinical angle is that we actually do pretty extensive clinical testing so that all of the claims that we are making, in addition to the published research we always cite for all of our products, we have additional clinical testing and research behind these formulas. So they are a bit more, I guess you could say, medicinal in nature, but they're not prescription, obviously. These are still skincare products. Last, you might be wondering how the clinical Ultra Rich Moisturizer, which is designed for the face, compares to our clinical Ultra Rich Soothing Body Butter. The formulas are actually very similar, and the textures are quite similar too. You can think of clinical Ultra Rich Moisturizer as a supercharged version of the body butter that has a bit more slip. It is charged with some extra ingredients, most notably a range of ceramides. Ceramides are naturally occurring skin repairing ingredients, but when you have chronically dry skin, your skin either isn't making enough ceramides on its own, or its barrier, the surface, is so compromised that what little ceramides are being made just aren't able to stick around. So this is going to aim to basically give all of that back, and more importantly, here's where the emollients come in, keep those good ingredients from escaping back into the environment where they're not going to do your skin any good. So those are the main differences. Think of the clinical Ultra Rich Moisturizer as a souped up, more facially elegant version of the body butter. But yes, they are similar formulas, and yes, if you are using the body butter and want to experiment with using that on your face, see what you think, and then you can try the clinical Ultra Rich Moisturizer and see if that you actually prefer, how that feels and goes on versus the body butter. If you have any questions about this product, go ahead and leave them in the comments section below, and myself or one of the other Paula's Choice team members will be back to answer them. Thanks for watching.